Mr. Johns, are you nervous about today?
Former Silverchair frontman Daniel Johns has avoided jail time over a high-range drink-driving charge. It was on March 23, 2022 when Johns downed a bottle of wine and a can of vodka, then got in his Porsche SUV. It was said that Johns was in a zombie-like state when he got lost near Tea Gardens, which is in Newcastle, Australia, where Johns is from. Then what happened next was Johns turned onto Pacific Highway going the wrong way, and this is when he crashed head-on with a small commercial truck. While there were no serious injuries, one person did end up going to hospital from the incident. Johns was 3 times over the legal limit. After the crash, Daniel Johns admitted himself into a rehab center and released this statement. "Last night I got lost while driving and I was in an accident. I am okay. Everyone is okay. I have to step back now as I'm self-admitting to a rehabilitation center and I don't know how long I'll be there. Appreciate your love and support as always." And so we fast forward to July of 2022 with John's court hearing, where he would find out what his fate would be. Johns did avoid jail time, however, the judge handed him a 10-month community correction order, and he has been disqualified from driving for 7 months, and has been ordered to fit an alcohol reading interlock device to his car for 24 months when he gets his driver's license back. Daniel Johns' lawyer said that his client had been suffering from panic attacks and had been self-medicating with alcohol. Reportedly, Johns admitted himself into that rehab center in March for around 4 weeks and has been sober ever since.
While in rehab, his lawyer says he hasn't touched alcohol since and has been living like a recluse, worried to leave the house.
It was also stated when he ventures outside, he is worried about people attacking him. His home is his only safe spot. Of recent times, Johns had been pursued by a stalker. And all this has happened amidst the release of Johns' second solo album. That is Future Never, which was released on April the 22nd, 2022. And just before we end this video, I will touch on this album briefly. I've just listened to it a couple of times myself so far, and there are definitely some cool tracks on there. No, it isn't Silverchair, nothing like that at all. It's Daniel Johns' solo project. But there is definitely some cool stuff going on there, from what I can tell from a couple of listens. He has made a part 3 of the song Those Thieving Birds, which is a Silverchair song and appears on the Silverchair album, their 5th studio album, Young Modern. So he's kind of continued that on there, which is interesting. And there is a track on there called Freak Never, which is a massive rehash, redo of the song Freak. Heavily borrows from that song Freak from their second album, Freak Show. So some pretty interesting sounds on that album, and if you're a fan of Daniel Johns, definitely check that one out. And we just hope that Daniel can get his life back on track. He has said himself that he has been self-medicating with alcohol for some time now. He had a mid-range drink driving case back in 2015, and that goes with this one now in 2022, so it's not good. I think if they wanted to and it was possible, Silverchair could definitely get together and do something again. That may never happen, of course, but there are many fans out there that would not be adverse to seeing that, that's for sure. But if you look at this latest incident, this head-on crash, was very lucky that nobody was seriously injured. Something far worse could have happened out of this. It didn't, but very easily could have, right? Daniel Johns and his band Silverchair, of course, released that debut album Frog Stomp all the way back in 1995 when they were just like 14, 15 years old. And fame was very hard for Daniel to deal with at that age. He had been stalked, harassed, bullied. He went through an eating disorder back in the late 90s. And so everybody just hopes the best for Daniel Johns. He has a great legacy of music behind him with his band Silverchair, his solo music. A lot of great music to be proud of that people really enjoy still. So there we go, guys. The latest news on Daniel Johns. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.